Hey, everybody. I'm so glad you have joined us. This is our once a month client celebration phone call, Zoom, whatever, however method you called in on or are watching us. We're really glad that you're here. So we are, just to tell you a little bit about who we are clients and health coaches, and we've become friends, and some of us haven't ever met in actual person, but we see each other on Zoom all the time, so it's kind of a fun way to get to know one another. So I'm going to have Karen introduce first her client, Todd, who's going to share his story. So Karen, if you'll come off of mute, then tell us a little bit about Todd, how you guys met, and all that good stuff. Take it away, girl.
All right. Well, I am actually from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and that is actually where I actually met Todd's wife, Jeannie. She was one of my managers on the university softball team. I used to coach softball, and so she was, we won't tell the whole world, but she was like my favorite manager that I had, and she was good at what she did. And so we kind of just kept in touch through Facebook mainly, and one day Todd reached out to me and said, "Hey, tell me about this program that you have to offer." And so we did, and didn't hear from him for a little while. And then I heard back from him, and he said, "I'm ready to go." And so he did. He jumped in and jumped with both feet in. He's also from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, and had, I'm not going to steal his thunder. I'm going to let him tell his story. But he married Jeannie, and that's how I got to meet Todd and stay in touch with some wonderful people. So, Todd, if you will go ahead and take it over.
I've just unmuted you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Like Karen said, my name's Todd Whaley. I'm 41 years old. Going on 15 years marriage. Be 15 in December. I have 3 kids. 10, 6, and 3. So stay pretty busy. You can see why I had to lose some weight to get a little bit of energy level up here, so I could participate some. So, but and honestly, that's other than just being more healthy, that was one of the main reasons. Just to be here for my kids, to participate with my children, and be involved with them. So that's one of the main reasons. And like I say, I've tried, like a lot of people, tried a lot of different programs, and with some success, but just it always seemed to come back. The weight seemed to come back. But the program I'm on now, it's all about the support, and that's what makes the difference to me is getting those phone calls and the encouragement and the Facebook posts and seeing all that stuff. You get to. That's the difference maker with me and the program that I'm on. So started on November 28th, and 61 pounds since then. So got a lot more to go, but that's good. And have ups and downs, and that's going to happen. We know it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle, and you have to adapt that way. You're going to have those peaks and valleys like you do in life in anything. So. And I sound like Coach Green right now because that's what she tells me all the time. So, and, a great health coach makes a difference, that's for sure. So,
what would you say would be the thing that maybe surprised you the most when you got started and got going?
Day 2.
Well, tell me about day 2, because what I love about this is we're real people, and this is kind of like the good, bad, and the ugly. So was day 2 good, or was it not so good?
Day 2 was terrible for me. I guess day 1 you're excited, and you're kind of running off some adrenaline as well. But day 2 it was rough for me, and it'll have you questioning yourself. Am I doing the right thing here? But and that's one of those things you learn. If you get through those first few days, if you have the willpower to get through those first days, you'll be surprised at what you can do, to stay with it. You'll surprise yourself.
Well, and wouldn't you agree probably that most of us didn't get to, let's just say, the starting point of this program by not liking food?
Oh, no.
We did. That's not how we got here. And we probably, usually what happens in those first few days is pretty much a detox.
Absolutely.
And so your body's kind of in shock that you're eating healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And probably, I'm just saying, probably less than we all were before, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No doubt about it.
So would you say that that's the support you're talking about, is being able to talk to Karen?
Sure.
To get through that night.
There's tips and tricks you learn, and that Karen's taught me, that help you get through those low moments, that you're going to have for sure, especially those first week or so, you're going to have those. So it's like I said before, it's all about the support you get. So makes a difference.
So since then, maybe what's been your favorite thing about this?
About the program?
Uh-huh.
Oh, without a doubt, it's the energy level.
Really?
Losing the weight. That's the main thing to me, is the energy level. The other things come with it. You're a lot more happy. You sleep well. You got clothes that fit well. You hadn't worn in a while. Like I say, just the participation with my children, every day. My daughter's a softball player. She's learning how to pitch. So I'm I'm catching for her in her pitching lessons and things like that, So it's just
so you feel like you're not missing out on life.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah.
That's very good. That's very cool. Anybody have any questions for Todd? Raise your hand and I'll unmute you, or you can unmute yourself.
I want to know if you're using a bucket when you catch your daughter.
Absolutely.
Hey, all right. Use that, right?
Is there a story there we need to know about?
No, when you're catching a catcher, you sit on a bucket. And
absolutely.
It's hard to sit on that bucket if you're overweight. Because it's a small bucket. So now he's able to sit on that bucket.
Absolutely. Even though I've lost weight, the old knees are still wore out. So that's not reversible unless unless surgery, of course. But no, I have to have my bucket. So
now, Todd, have you done anything like go to the grocery store and eyeball maybe 2 30-pound bags of dog food, and then try to pick those up and walk up and down the aisle with them?
Honestly, I've never really thought about it that way. I've just really never looked back. Honestly, I've never looked back. I'm just trying to keep going forward there. But I can definitely see that. I'll have to try that now that you've mentioned it. I'll have to
because Megan, who's on the call here, Megan said the same thing. Hold on, I'm gonna unmute you, but because I think it was so important. Tell them about that little experience, Megan.
It was carrying in a 40-pound bag of dog food after I'd lost 60 pounds, and just getting it out of the car and getting it into the house was a struggle, dropping it down and thinking to myself, I used to carry this around every freaking day and not get to put it down. Mm-hmm. It was a real reality check on how awesome it is to be where we are.
I think how much happier your heart is and your internal organs and your joints for not hauling all that around now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's good. All right. Cool. All right. Thank you. Thanks for sharing, Todd. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Karen, the other Karen, why don't you introduce your friend Marianne, who's going to be our other story?
Okay. First of all, congratulations, Todd, and thank you for sharing that, because I know sometimes it's not easy. And Marianne and I have been long-time besties, dear friend, much more like family. And we had actually embarked on this program a number of years ago with another person, and it was sort of half-hearted. It was for me anyway. But we had some limited sort of success, and I'm not sure exactly what happened, but fast forward, and I had decided that it was time for me to do something. And I had a feeling that perhaps Marianne might jump on board after a few weeks. And that's exactly what happened. And, I have to say, I'm so proud of her. And she looks great. I know she feels great. And, I have to say it keeps me accountable because we spend some time together. We don't spend, a lot of time together, but we spent the weekend together this weekend. And it's just so much simpler. It's like, okay, it's time to eat. What do you got? What do you got? What am I going to have? What do you have? Let me, what's that? And so we do it together, and it's so much easier. And it just keeps it, for me, I probably struggle more than she does. She's very committed, and she's been committed, and she stays committed. And I'm so impressed by that. And I'll let her tell you the rest.
Okay, Marianne, it's all you, girl.
Okay. Well, as Karen said, she was truly my beginning inspiration to do this, but my journey actually began a few months back when I knew that I was struggling with a back issue. I wasn't feeling very well. And to let you know, I will be 65 in a few months. So it was time for me to consider getting healthy. And I had 2 family members who had dramatic things happen. One was a very close cousin who had a stroke, which has left her completely debilitated, and another cousin who passed away in his sleep. So all of a sudden, I realized that it was time for me to take charge of my health. And I'm an only child and the only one helping support my mother, who is in assisted living, and she's 96. So I needed to have a wake-up call, and I was very impressed with Karen. I knew this program was great. I knew that it worked, and so my motivation was big and important to get healthy. And I was the kind of eater that I was a starver. I'd have 1 meal a day, but it'd be big and it'd be yummy. So I had to teach myself on this program to eat 6 times a day, which I can sort of relate, Todd, and congratulations to you. That's amazing. I started the day after Thanksgiving as well. And so my choices, the ease of the program is the thing that helped me. I did not have to struggle about figuring out what to eat those 6 times a day. All I had to figure out was what choice I was going to make, because there were so many different choices. So almost 45 pounds later and 33 inches, I am extraordinarily happy. I feel amazing. I enjoy life. As Todd said, I sleep better. The issues that were beginning to plague me have virtually disappeared. So I can't say enough about the program and the support, and my coach. Karen has been a great coach. I believe in the program, so I'm a huge cheerleader.
Yay! I love stories like this. So this is just the fun part. So, and I forgot to ask Todd, so I'm going to unmute Todd, both of you guys. Who in your world is noticing, and what do you say? Like, what do you tell them when they ask what you're doing?
Go ahead, Marianne. I'll let you go.
Well, the thing for me is that I saw a family member just recently who had not seen me since the first part of November, which was at the very, beginning of when I was going to do this. And she was startled and said I looked great. And she is a woman of very few words. So I took that to heart completely. And I went to a wedding with another family member and had several people commend me for the weight loss. I think for me, it's more about how I feel. And it's more about the progress that I'm making personally, because it's my effort. If someone notices, that's just the bonus for me.
So, like, what things have you learned? Like, what is, like, you're never going to do ever the old way again?
Well, I'm never going to eat the same way again. I mean, this is a lifestyle change, and that's what it says in the beginning. I agree with Todd. And it's, I have really, after the 5 months, almost 5 months, I have no craving for some of those things that I used to. And to be honest, I grabbed those because they were fast and easy, and I was being lazy about it. So I I don't mind the program. I'm fascinated by all of the recipes that are available to us for lean and green options during the 5-in-1, and even I'm sure when maintenance comes around at some point. But my goal is 50, and I'm close. And so I think, we look at that. But I will never go back to eating the same way again. And I don't think that to me, I don't want it now. I'm happy with the way I'm doing it now.
Yeah.
So no more sodas.
It's just interesting to me. So I'm just going to throw this little seed out there because Karen will agree with me. Anybody who, when they first get started and people around you start noticing, most of us probably are crazy busy. We have insanely busy lives and you don't want to think about taking on one more thing. But when I started coaching, it was after the company had put out a study. They had just done a study, and they said that people who have lost weight and then start helping others, whether it's 3 people or 3,000 people, let's say, they're 5 times more likely to keep their weight off. And so I would say for those of you who have friends who are just, whether they're asking you what you're doing or whether they're just saying, wow, because the other thing we find out when we start paying attention to these things is a lot of times they probably are curious and they probably are hurting, but they don't want to say, they don't want to ask. They're too shy. They're afraid because maybe like a lot of us, they already done a bazillion programs before and nothing works and nothing keeps the weight off long term. And we all here know that we have something that is just like a gold mine and it's totally different, right? So it is completely different. So I would encourage both you, Marianne, and you, Todd, to think about that. Just because it doesn't take that much time to coach people. And it is the best way for you to stay healthy and to keep those. Because when you're helping other people and you're focusing on them, then it really keeps you in mind with what you're doing. And that's exactly what Karen Hatfield was talking about. Right, Karen?
Yes, ma'am. That is absolutely for sure.
So I couldn't agree more. Has anybody noticed on your end, Todd? Hold on, you're muted. There you go. I unmuted you.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm in my line of work. I go around visiting customers, and you get that it may be a couple 3 weeks, before you get back around and see them again, and. I got a couple of, man, how much weight have you lost, and those comments like that, which are great, and as far as people asking me what I'm doing, I'm just eating 6 times a day and drinking a bunch of water. So that's
Water.
Water is our friend.
But yeah, those comments definitely help. It's just like the support system we have, those encouraging words mean a lot. So
absolutely. So I'm just going to plant that seed, and I'm sure y'all's coaches will water it. But truly, there's no way in the world that I would still be, because it's been 6.5 years ago since I lost my weight. There's no way in the world that I would be. I'm not at the lowest weight I've ever been. Like not at the bikini picture. However, I'm still making healthier habits and healthier things overall way better and way differently than when I first got started. And so that is the effect of this whole community thing. I couldn't sing the praises more loudly.
Well, and I think this program talks to every age group. I don't think that there is any kind of you have to be in a certain age group or you have to be still working. I am now actively retired. I'm busier now than I ever was. But I think that it is, if your why is strong enough and your desire is strong enough, I think that you're able to make those choices. And this program certainly offers all of that for everybody.
Yeah. As a coach, when I am exploring health with somebody and they're asking me about, or we're just kind of talking about, where's your health now versus where would you like it to be? I love it when somebody says, I really don't care. I mean, yes, obviously I do want to lose the weight, but I'm really more interested in healthy. I want to be making healthier decisions long term. I want to lower my blood pressure. I want to lower my cholesterol. I want to be able to play with my grandkids. Things like that. I love those stories because that then like Marianne, like you're saying, they're why strong enough and they are ready.
Right.
And then if I said, then, in order to achieve this, you're going to have to eat cardboard and drink mud. They go, okay. Which we all know is not the case, but that's pretty much what it comes down to. So I'm glad that you guys are here and sharing that. Okay, let's see. Miss Karen Green, what about the habit of health of the week? What are you guys talking about in your world? Why don't you share that? I just unmuted you.
Oh, you just done me. I was looking for the unmute button.
I was going to say I unmuted you.
Well, we're talking about the balance of protein and carbs and being in fat burn and staying in that fat burn. Everything works together. That balance in protein and carb, and it's a lifelong habit that you're going to have forever. It's not going to be something that you're just going to do while you're losing weight. You're always going to be eating 6 times a day, every 2 to 3 hours. You're always going to be eating balanced protein and carb foods because that's what's going to help balance your blood sugar. When we eat carb-laden or sugar-laden food and we have that instant spike in our insulin or our blood sugars, and then that insulin comes rushing in to help overcome it, that's where the fat storage comes in. So when we balance our blood sugars, we don't have that instant fat storage there. And it helps us when we stay balanced not to be hungry, and it keeps our cravings down. So we want that forever. Even if we're not losing weight and just maintaining, we don't want to be starved or just having those ups and downs in our blood sugar where we're craving things. So that's kind of what we're talking in a nutshell. It is about eating those 6 meals a day, every 2 to 3 hours, balancing proteins and carbs so that our blood sugars are balanced and that we're burning our own fat cells for energy.
And it's fascinating because like you said, even then once you're in just regular life, you've gotten to your goal weight, you've gotten healthy, it's fun as long as you've learned these new habits and this is your new lifestyle. To be able to go on vacation. I grew up in Mexico. I'm a missionary's kid. So I go on vacation. I go down to the land of beans, tortillas, chips, margaritas, and not anything necessarily healthy. The beans are never just done in the veggie style. They're, of course, done with lard and all this good stuff. But I've always packed my fuelings with me in the suitcase. And so I start my morning with my hot cocoa fueling, which has protein in it, just mixed right into my coffee so it feels like a Starbucks venti mocha, extra whip without the whip. It's chocolate and it's coffee all together and it gives my caffeine, but it also has my protein to start the metabolism burning, And so then we'll go out and we'll do whatever around town, but as long as every few hours I'm fueling with, regular protein and carb balance the rest of the time when I'm maybe not making the best decisions because I'm in the homeland to me. I can come home after 2 weeks and have gained 1/2 of 1 pound. To me, that is mind-boggling. I'm like, that's not the old way of doing things. Usually people go, you go on a cruise and it's just like a floating food barge. I don't know. So people, when they go, if the other way to do it, one of our other healthy habits is to work on, minding our stress and mindfulness. And so I had a client who was kind of scared. She was getting ready to go on one of these cruises and she's lost over 80 pounds. She goes, I'm terrified. I said, think about it. You have actually now the power of being able to choose the right stuff because you're going to be fine because you know what to eat. You've lost 80 pounds, girl. She's like, oh, I never thought about it like that. So she came home and she'd gained like 3 pounds on a cruise. So she's great. It was just really, it's empowering to know what we've got in our hands here and how we can help ourselves and help other people.
Well, even like if someone has a glass of wine, how many times have we had a glass of wine just by itself? Mm-hmm. But now we know to eat a little protein with that.
Right.
We slow it down, So it's all these choices that we can make every single day, with whether you're on maintenance, whether you're in transition, whether you're on the weight loss phase. Just these healthy habits that we've learned throughout this program has been really amazing.
I totally agree. All right. I am going to take us off mute now. And if it gets really loud, I'm going to mute everybody again. But just for any last minute questions, if we might have any. And that didn't do a darn thing to anything. If you have a question, you can unmute yourself. I want to say that that's going to be it for us this week. And come on back next week. I will post the recording of this. If you have any questions about our health program, then please get back to the person who shared the link to this with you. If you're watching it on playback, we're really glad you're here. We do this the last Sunday night of every month. So thanks, y'all, for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marianne, Todd.
Thank y'all.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.